Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Viral here, and we got another video for you guys today. What we're doing today is Battlegrounds Season 6 with the Conflictor meta. So this is my first go at it to try it out. What we have here is Conflictor 2, so every 7 seconds the next debuff activated on the defender is immediately purified each time. This triggers the defender gains 50% of the bar of power and arms race. Both the attacker and defender gain a passive fury during their special attacks based on the defender's power. When below 1 bar of power, they gain 25% attack, while between 1 and 2 bars of power, they gain 75% attack. And while above 2 bars of power, they gain 200% attack. So what's very important there is the 200% attack there. So certain champs like Scorpion for baiting out heavy or baiting out special attacks would be great. Spot 2 because he has a good special 2. Ghost as well could be great for this meta. Juggernaut as well I heard is really good, and as well as Kitty Pryde because of their increased damage on their special 2 because they hit so hard already based on their specials, and that increase in attack rating is definitely going to help. So I was just going through here my deck and seeing what champs I could put in. Wasn't sure too much on the meta and how it would be, but I was just going through the motions here, seeing what I could come up with, and going from there. So you can see that I have a few good go-tos, and I decided to get rid of Omega Sentinel there and put in Apocalypse, because I find that with the Conflictor meta, he doesn't purify, or opponents don't purify their debuffs off Apocalypse's ability. So now we're going to go in, sync in, and find a match here. Found a match. And we're going up against Haria HC. Alright. So typically who I've been, I don't really like fighting Valkyrie, just because she can bypass a lot of things, as well as Ebony Maw. He's just annoying if you do slip up and you get caught with that degen. And I got rid of Spot 2 because I'm not really used to fighting Spot yet. I don't have him in my Battlegrounds deck either right now, but so I just thought to be safe I'd not ban him. So he goes ahead and picks American Chavez, and I have some pretty good options here. I go with, of course, Domino because she's such a great Battlegrounds defender, and Overseer just to counter that American Chavez. Overseer is so underrated too. He can do so much with that burst damage. He goes ahead and picks Gore and Warlock, and I'm just kind of starting out my options here. You know, Bishop could be pretty good on this meta as well with his special 2 damage if you stack your prowess. So I go ahead with Warlock and also Wiccan, and he comes back with Nick Fury and Apocalypse here. So because I see his Apocalypse, I mean, obviously I gotta go with Nimrod, because he can just completely nuke down Apocalypse and any mutant, really. And I go with Hulkling as well for a safe bet against that Warlock. And then he goes with Sassy and Cosmic Ghost Rider. And I'd like to have a Sasquatch if I can, but I still don't have one yet. Still hunting for that champ. And I'm having a look here. I'm thinking, who can I counter with Nick Fury? And I go in with Kitty Pryde. And we're going to start round 1. So he's up first, and he places Sasquatch, which is a good defense placement. I'm thinking I'd probably throw in Domino, because, I mean, Domino is a top tier defender as well. anytime your ability fails, you take degen damage, and it can happen quite a bit with when you're fighting Domino. So he goes with Warlock, and I'm thinking, okay, who better to counter Sasquatch than the Overseer? And I'm sink in and get ready to fight. So you gotta remember with Conflictor, if you do parry, it gets purified, and he gains a little bit of power. So we always gotta be cautious of that. He throws a special one. I hit him with a heavy attack right away, just to get that taunt up so that he's more aggressive than throwing specials. And every time I punish his special attack, he also takes a burst damage. So there I go, again with the heavy attack. He's taunted, he's throwing Furies. I slip up there and get hit. Luckily, Overseer is pretty tanky. He can take a lot of damage as well. And I go ahead with a special 2, that increased damage. And look at the burst damage, it's about 2,500 each tick, which is great. And here we go, he's still in the Gamma mode, Cosmic Power mode. I'm doing a bunch of damage in the red numbers there. And special 1. So I got parry off there, and I keep going in with the special 1 here myself. It stuns them, and it's game over. It took 83 seconds, so it wasn't the quickest fight, but he loses to Domino. And, you know, I gotta hit him up with an emote there, so just for fun. And that is the first match done. So we go on to round 2 here. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, who should I use to counter his offense right now? And I mean, I could use Ultimate, but I go ahead with Warlock instead. And I think he counters with Cosmic Ghost Rider, of course. And he throws down Nick Fury. I throw down Kitty Pryde just to counter Nick Fury, but I mean, Cosmic Ghost Rider is so quick in, you know, most metas, so I figured he had this fight. But Kitty Pryde can be pretty quick as well. It's just Nick Fury has that second life. And here we go. I'm just trying to be as aggressive as I can on this fight. Stacking up my Krauses, and he purifies that stun, gets a bit of power, which is fine because I want to push him to a level 2, not a level 1. And we're doing a couple clean intercepts here and there. I hit him with a special 1, get those incinerates on him, and build up my temperature so that the special attack damage goes up higher. He comes back with a special 1. And luckily the Incinerate 3 trigger comes in with the heavy attack. I fade that out, and fade out the special 2 as well. And I'm doing pretty good for time, but I mean, we're about a minute in. He hits me with a special 1 there. And I'm taking a bit of chip damage, as you can see in my health bar. I'm down at 92%, and he kind of sucks me there, pushes me to a special 3, so I have to use it to get back to second special. And this takes him down to 1%, and he heals back that health in the second life. And at this point, you know, it's a minute and a half in. There's not much I could do right now to go any quicker. He stunned me in the second life, of course, and right now he's unblockable, so I'm just trying to get him down as quickly as I can with, you know, the time left. And I know I'm at 10 seconds here, so I hit him with a special 1. Just enough, but of course, Cosmic Ghost Rider has a lot of damage, and he finishes sub a minute, so that's okay. We were tied 1 one fight apiece, and now basically overtime, right? So we got round 3 here. He has Apocalypse, Gore, and American Chavez left. He throws down APOC. I think, okay, that's great. I can use Nimrod to counter him, and I'm just trying to make a tricky fight for him. So I'm thinking maybe I should go Hulkling, but I decided to throw down Wiccan instead. I'm not sure how good American Chavez's buff is, so I didn't know if that would give him a quicker fight with Hulkling. So I just decided to use Wiccan. And I know regardless, you know, Nimrod can counter any mutant fairly quickly. So here we go. We're in here. He throws the first one. I'm just building up my charges here, my armor. And throw down special one as well to get that energized buff. Luckily, Nimrod's very tanky as well. It can take blocked hits like it's nothing. And we're just continuing to build up to the special 2. We have an energy vulnerability debuff on Apocalypse, so this shock does even more damage. 9,000 every half a second with shock, and it's game over. 46 seconds that fight was. 97.7% health. Completely nuked him down. And I mean, he was pretty quick too, 57 seconds, but I was quicker there and hit him up with that Loki laugh emote just for the win. All good fun. And that was the first actual match or first round that I had in the new meta, so that was pretty great to start off with a W. And we're just gonna go and keep going just to see, you know, build up, climb the ladder basically, and get more rewards. And yeah, so I keep going, you know, using the tribute markers or the Elder's Mark while I can. And I found another match, and this one's up against Auburn. Haven't fought this guy before, but you gotta take a look, see what he has here. And I see he's got Absorbing Man. I don't like fighting Absorbing Man. I don't have him yet, and I don't like fighting the new Spider-Man Supreme either. He also has Gallon, and I know Gallon is fairly quick too. So I decided to ban those just to give myself a bit of an upper hand here. And we're going to see who he bans in a second here. And he goes ahead and he bans Human Torch, Archangel, Gore. So we're getting into the draft, and he has Guardian, which is awesome. I'd like to have a Guardian up at rank 4. I think that's rank 4. I draft Nimrod and Hyperion to counter his Guardian, I believe. And then he comes back here, and he has quite a few nice champs. He drafts Cosmic Ghost Rider and Mr. Fantastic. Not too sure how he is in this meta. But then it's my go. I take Hulkling because he can also counter Guardian, because whenever he automatically blocks, Hulkling can go unblockable. But I also take Penny Parker because she's just very difficult with her auto block mechanic. And he drafts Wiccan and Kingpin. And I counter with Domino, as well as Apocalypse for his Kingpin. And then I think he has 2 more drafts and I have 1 left. He goes with Hyperion, okay. And Valkyrie as well. I think his plan was to use Valkyrie for the Penny Parker. And I have a pretty good draft here with Kitty Pryde, Null, and Cosmic Ghost Rider. I go with Cosmic Ghost Rider just to possibly counter his Hyperion, just to get the damnation on his power gain buffs. And he's up first. He picks Mr. Fantastic. And so I come out here with, I can't remember here now. I'm thinking it's Domino. Yeah, Domino. Yeah, so he uses Guardian to counter Domino, and I am just gonna go with just getting at what I have here. We'll go with here. Oh, clean, okay. I think I just wanted to do a quick fight with Voltane. I know Mr. Fantastic isn't really that difficult to fight. You can evade if you have enough debuffs on you, but I don't have any to start. So we're going in here, trying to build Voltane up. I unfortunately take a hit there, and I'm taunted, so now he has a bit of a chance to evade. He comes in with an unblockable, and now I use a heavy attack to put an Intimidate on him, and now he's more prone to blocking, and then I throw my special 2 while I'm unblockable, and I get that extra fury for more damage. And then he throws his special 2, and he's at 35% health at this point. Continuing to attack into his block, and you can see that all that block penetration is doing damage. His special 2 here does a lot of damage as well. And he throws another special 2, he's at 13%. So I close off the fight here in just over a minute, 65 seconds. And it was close. I mean, he did that fight well, quicker, but I had more health left, so I beat him just a little bit, actually. 51,875 to 51,850. So that was a very close fight. And then, who do I choose? I think I go with Penny Parker here. I could be wrong. I'm looking through my options here, and okay, no, I go with Nimrod instead, actually. He can be tricky to fight. Because I did notice he had that Valkyrie. And he throws down Kingpin, so I'm thinking my best option here would be to use Apocalypse. Because Kingpin can't shrug off or purify Apocalypse's debuffs, because it's in Apocalypse's kit that he can't shrug off, or anyone can't shrug off or purify debuffs, which is great for Apocalypse for this meta. Just makes him a safe option to use. And so here I'm throwing heavy attacks, building up some bleeds, and just beating on special 1. Don't want to push him to a special 2, because then we'll go unstoppable. And throwing another heavy. Beat this out. And I'm going to go in for a big special 2. And it does a pretty decent amount of damage. I mean, I'm not built up yet to 4 prowesses, because you can't really in Battlegrounds, fortunately. But I think he does the fight just fine. He's not the quickest option, but he gets the job done. And he's at 41%. We'll counter that with a heavy. This time I was going to go for a heavy attack, but I waited too long, and he comes out with a special 2. Now he's unstoppable. And so I have to wait for that unstoppable to go away. And then I come back with another special 2. It took a lot longer than anticipated, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So I ended up pushing him to a special 3 here and running out of time. Yeah, so timed out, unfortunately, and Cosmic Ghost Rider, of course, is very quick. So he does win that round, and that puts us at 1 apiece again for this fight, or this match. So battle round 3 begins. He's up first place, and he throws down Hyperion. And I'm thinking, who should I use? Probably Penny Parker. She's very difficult to fight. He counters with Valkyrie, and I go with my Cosmic Ghost Rider this time, so the tables have turned. And this fight goes pretty quick, as it should be. I'm thinking of taking Cosmic Ghost Rider up to rank 4 soon, just for that extra damage, extra combat power rate too, for each hit. And I'm just building up my charges. I got medium off, under damnation, all those armor breaks attack and build up. And unfortunately, I get hit there, and he goes to a special 3. So I didn't completely have the power gain under control, but and then I take a couple hits here, which is really rough. And normally I would have had that fight under control, but that's what it is. And yeah, I slipped up quite a bit, but there's a minute left. Staying focused. Done with the special 1, and luckily, he gets knocked out there. The fight went fairly quick, 64 seconds, but because I slipped up, there was he took out a big chunk of health, so I'm here just waiting to see what happens, and hoping that Penny Parker can, time out, maybe, with the fight. And then there's 30 seconds left here in this fight. So we just have to wait and see what happens here. I haven't played too much Battlegrounds this season. I'm going to try and play a little bit more in the next coming weeks, just to see. Yeah, they ended up, I think, timing out. And yeah, they didn't have enough, or they didn't kill my defender, so they scored a lot less, 39,000 points to 39, and we ended up winning, closing out that match as well. So that was perfect. And I go up another tier to bronze 2, get a couple rewards there. Perfect. So I thought, 1 and 2 here, might as well keep going. Get that objective there for an extra couple of trophy tokens. And yeah, we're gonna play the next match here. Keep on going. Let's see who we're up against next. Let me know how you guys have been doing with this new meta. Found it fairly easy here. I'm facing Laricot, and this guy has the Thanos profile picture for doing Eternity of Pain. So I know this is probably going to be a hard matchup. This guy seems like an endgame player. He's got a pretty good roster here. I think that's a rank 4 Absorber Man. I ban him, and the Ebony Maw as well. And I'm just looking at other options here, who to ban. Any tricky fights, or that will give them an advantage. I take out Gallon. He bans my Overseer, Quicksilver, and Wiccan. So he drafts Korg, of course. So I'm looking, and I know it's going to be a tricky fight. I take Nimrod and Bishop, because I want Bishop to counter that Korg. And here he is presented with a couple good options. He goes with Hercules for Herc, but I have Nimrod to counter his Apocalypse and Domino, but he puts Domino anyways. And then I have a couple options here. I'm thinking Nick Fury is probably great to time out. Or not time out, but stall the fight so that he gets less points. But so I draft Nick Fury and Human Torch. And he also drafts his Human Torch along with his Nimrod. And I want to make these fights trickier for him. So I draft Rintra and Penny Parker, and he has some good options. He's Shang-Chi, probably to counter the Rintra or Penny Parker. And he's also drafting his Rintra, New Man. So I mean, Rintra's difficult enough in himself, so I'm gonna draft my Archangel. Luckily it came up, and we'll see how this fight goes. It's pretty close. So he's up first again to pick his defender, and he goes along with Korg. So I'm thinking, okay, who should I use to outstall him? And I use Nick Fury because of that second life, as you saw in the earlier fight. He goes ahead with Domino, and I throw Bishop down because Bishop is such a great counter to Korg. Anytime Korg purifies a stun debuff, Bishop basically changes that to a passive stun, and it lasts longer too, as you can see right there at the get-go. So yeah, he tries to purify, it turns into a passive stun, as you're seeing in the top right or right underneath Korg's health bar. And he goes with the special 2. At this point, I have 29 prowess, so very good start for me. He goes unblockable. I perfectly decks that special 1. Got more used to fighting Korg in the past, and I throw the special 2. It does a lot of damage, no crits though, and 3047 per tick incinerates, so he just melted fairly quick there, and that was almost a textbook fight against that Korg. I think it might be rank 4. And of course Nick Fury takes a while to fight, and he's going in with his Domino, so we're just waiting for the results on that one. And he does a decent job as well, 65 seconds, but I was just quicker, that much quicker. So I beat him by about 1,000 or 1,100 points, or about 2,000 points, let's say. And that was round 1. So now it's my turn to pick the defense, and looking at his options, so I think Rintra's such a hard fight. I mean, he's pretty tricky, and you know, he's a great counter. So he goes with his Rintra, so we're having a Rintra off, I guess. And I'm thinking I could use Human Torch, but I want to save Human Torch for in case he places Nimrod down. He uses his Human Torch, but I'm going to go ahead with Archangel instead, because I know Archangel can do this fight. fairly well too. I just gotta watch out for the Conflictor and shrugging off the bleeds and poisons and debuffs. So I go in for a parry, throw in a heavy attack, 3 bleeds, great RNG, 2 poisons, convert them into 2 neurotoxins, and it's already ticking down. Unfortunately, don't know what happened there. I missed the parry, but not the worst. I throw a heavy into a special 1, trying to get an extra neuro, and I'm just parrying and heavy attacking, and he's melting pretty quick. 4 neurotoxins are doing 2,415 per tick. And I throw in another special 1. He has special 2 now. Gotta beat this out. That's dodging those are tricky sometimes. Minute left, and I'm thinking like Human Torch can do this pretty quick with his Nova Flames. So I don't know how he's doing until afterwards. So I finished with 50 seconds left. He actually did the fight quicker, 10 seconds quicker, but he slipped up. And yeah, he had 50% health loss. So I end up coming out with that W as well. So I'm up three matches at the start. Pretty good so far. And that was the match there. 2-0. And so I decided to do one more fight, or one more match, try to move up one more tier, and yeah, we'll see how this one goes for it. So we have the match here, and this is the mock, or T-mock, not sure how you say that, but let's see what his roster is looking like. Pretty good. Some good defenders, some good attackers there. And I'm thinking what fights are going to be tricky or what's going to help him. Gallon, of course. I still don't have a Gallon yet. Still been hunting for Gallon for a while. So I ban his Gallon. Time's ticking down. Thinking who else is tricky to fight. Atuma, I don't really know him. He's still a fairly new character. And Void places a lot of debuffs, so I thought just ban his Void. He bans Dr. Doom, Overseer, and Gore. So I'm first up this time. I pick that Domino and Cosmic Ghost Rider. They're pretty reliable for defense and offense. And here he goes with his Cosmic Ghost Rider and Wiccan. And oh, he also drafted Rocker Raccoon there, so he was up first. So I go with Kingpin. And what else do I go with? I go with Havoc, because Havoc can be tricky with the amount of power gain he gets, and you need a specific counter, someone with armor, and that's who Colossus has our armor to counter it, and he also goes with Man-Thing. So I go in with Hulkling, and I'm looking at his champs, and I go in with Archangel as well, because he's just quick at tearing opponents down. Then he has a couple options here. I find Mr. Negative kind of tricky sometimes if you don't know how to fight him and you knock him down and you are put into a reverse controls, which can really mess up your fighting style. He throws down Strife, I pick up Hercules, and we're about to start round 1. So he's up first to pick his defender. He goes in with Strife, decent option. I think I go in with Probably Domino again. She's a sack. Yeah, I use Domino again. And he's gonna counter and pick his attacker with Rocket. I mean, Rocket does some pretty good damage, but he's a bit of a glass cannon. Can't really take too many hits with Rocket Raccoon. I go in with Cosmic Ghost Rider, and we'll see how this fight goes. I know Strife goes into a certain phase where after special 1, you can't hit him or you'll miss. So I'm just trying to build up my judgments, get the power gain by ending with a light, and then I get hit here, unfortunately. So then I go with a special 2, and the damage, I all that, and I did a pretty good job there at finishing off that Strife quickly. 29 seconds. That's just how fast. If things go according to plan, Cosmic Ghost Rider is just overpowered. Yeah. He's just, yeah, something else. Also with that increased attack power rating, it just takes the special 2 to another level too. And we end up winning that fight. He was decently quick too, under a minute, just under a minute, but we came up on top with more health and 29-second fight. So that goes to round 1. And then I'm up to pick defense. I go in with Havoc, and he goes in with Man-Thing for his defender. And I'm thinking, who should I use to counter Man-Thing? I know Kingpin can shrug off the debuffs, the poison that he places on you. So I figure Kingpin might be alright for this fight. He goes in with Archangel. Archangel's pretty quick, as you've seen in the previous fight, or previous fights. So we'll go ahead here, see how this fight goes, and let's get into it. So, Kingpin is usually pretty good, but I slipped up there, fortunately. I'm not perfect at it, but sometimes you slip up. And I hit him with that special 1, get a little bit of degen going. He's at special 2, he does a heavy attack, goes unstoppable for a bit. And I do like that. I get armor broken and poison. Unfortunately, I didn't shrug it off like Kingpin normally does, but it's a 65% chance, I think, to shrug those off. Anyhow, he gains too much power due to probably Conflictor and Mystic Dispersion, so he goes into a special 3. So I have to take this. Luckily, it doesn't do too much damage, but I counter with a special 2 of my own here, and now I'm unstoppable. I also got that overpower buff, and next to the unstoppable, I got 2 of them now, so I'm hitting pretty hard. almost 20 seconds left, but Archangel is just very quick, you know, and he ends up winning that fight. Stalled a little long with that special 3, the Man-Thing. So this is gonna go into round 3 as well. So close matches, starting off this meta, and he goes in with Colossus. And I'm thinking, who should I use? I could go in with Hulkling, but he has Cosmic Ghost Rider. And Cosmic Ghost Rider is just quick at nuking down probably that Hulkling, so I thought maybe Hercules would be better. Plus he had Wiccan. So because of Wiccan, I thought Hercules would be better at stalling out the fight, and I should use Hulkling for offense instead. Hoping that this would pan out and be okay. So we get into this fight. My plan is just, use a heavy attack, try to, put an Intimidate on him so that he is less aggressive in blocking. Then I put in a bunch of Pierce buffs to increase damage through the block, get an unblockable there, and I'm going to race up to a special 2. He hits the special 2. I'm trying to wait out till he blocks, and then I go in for a couple hits. Want him to block so that I get that unblockable again and get the extra Fury. Hit special 2, 20k, 13k, 13k, 20k, big damage. And I still have that Fury up, and I figure, you know what, let's just go in for it. And I get that fight down in 46 seconds. Pretty good timing. He's still on the clock, and I finished at 98.2% health for a total of 53,972 points. He does pretty good. Almost won, but I had more health, and I beat him by about 15 seconds. So that was my first couple matches, the first 4 matches in Battlegrounds, and I got promoted up to Bronze 1 there. Still working away at it. I'm still in the victory track right now, but just wanted to give you guys a sense of where I was first playing around with this, and hopefully gave you guys a couple tips. But yeah, I got the objectives for Battlegrounds for the day, a couple more trophy tokens. I want to use those rewards on shards and as well as sig stones. But yeah, four down and 4 wins, solid. A couple close matches there, and that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching and sticking around. Plenty more content coming to you guys soon. I'll be doing more content here in the next little bit. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, that's gonna do it. Take care. Peace.